Thrustmaster T-300 GTE. This plasticky Ferrari knockoff wheel I hate. I don't like it. I think it's, as I just said, it's plasticky. It just doesn't feel nice. It's not very nice at all. So I wanted to change this and take the wheel off, put my own wheel on. So I looked into the Thrustmaster's products, and they're good. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just a bit expensive. They're charging about 120 quid for just the rim. And when I've already spent ridiculous amounts of money on this and upgrading it and doing what I'm about to show you I'm doing, I don't want to spend 120 quid on a wheel. So I'm showing you a way on how to get a standard aftermarket wheel, such as it's effectively a karting wheel. Okay, so it's a 280mm karting wheel. I bought it off eBay for around about £20, £30. You can pick them up. It's good condition. It's a suede wheel. Feels really nice. Yeah, so that was one. And also I bought the D-shaped Formula Rookie, Formula 3 type wheel. I don't use it too much, to be fair. I don't particularly feel like I need to use it. This is basically a video to show you how to take your wheel off safely. So all the buttons, you can still use paddle shifters. You'll lose the D-pad, but I'll explain that later. So what you're going to have to do is go online, go to www.simracinghardware.com, and you're going to want to purchase one of these. If you go to their website, you go to the shop, and then I think it's under wheel adaptions. I'll put the link in the description, but basically you want to get one of these. They're about £24.95 or £24.99, and they come with the 3 standard bolts that you'll need to fix your Allen key. I think it's about 3mm. You'll need to get this to fit the aftermarket wheel. If you don't get one of these, you cannot fit your wheel. So you need to take your wheel off first. You need to take your quick release off. It's already undone. So whip your quick release off and whip your wheel off. Okay. Behind the back of the paddle shifters, you've got a bolt which sits inside here. Basically it holds the paddle shifters on, holds them on the steering wheel. It doesn't hold them in place, just on the steering wheel. Just see through this hole here. There's one there and one on the other side through here. What you want to do is you want to get your screwdriver and remove the bolts from the back first. So remove those. There's one. And there's 2. Okay? So, 2 bolts removed from the inside here. So that's gone. This hole here, that one's now gone as well. Your paddle shifters will still work. They don't go anywhere, they don't fall off. It's basically just to bolt it onto the wheels. You won't be needing those bolts again at all. Next thing you want to do, you want to undo these 6 bolts here. Let me put it back on the base. And your Allen key. So use that Allen key, take all your 6 bolts out of your steering wheel. Don't forget, when you're buying a wheel, any aftermarket wheel, make sure it's a 70mm hexagonal bolt wheel. What I do is, this is quite important actually. I took one out of there, that's a very short bolt. I took one out of here, that's a very long bolt. Well, you keep the long bolt at the bottom, long bolt the top left, and also on the top right. If you put this long bolt in here, you're going to crack the inside of the panel which operates all your buttons here. And if you put in the long bolt in here, you're going to crack the main frame in the back, and your buttons are going to be no good and they're not going to work. Always keep the little bolts at the bottom and one right at the top. I don't want you messing it up, messaging me telling me I'm an arsehole for not telling you. So I've told you. Okay, see, look, long bolt, top left, top right. Right, now this one's coming out. Okay, I'm holding the wheel on. Take the wheel off and this D-pad should come out. Hold that there. Okay, so your wheel's now off. That's gone. Take your D-pad out and your spring. You've got a spring here. Leave it in for your next wheel to go on. These little white pads, just leave them in place. Don't touch them, just leave them, because at a later date, if you want to fit your wheel back on, you can put that back on and your wheel back on, bolt it up and it's fine. If you want to sell it, people are saying to me, oh, you're never going to be able to sell it because you've put your aftermarket wheel on it. But that's not the case. You just take your aftermarket wheel off, put your normal one on. You're not breaking any rules, you're not doing anything, you're not drilling anything. All you're doing is taking the bolts off, putting the bolts somewhere safe. That's it. Be careful once you've undone everything, because the back here is loose, as you can see, okay? If you pull that off, you're going to pull out a plug at the back here. You're going to have to plug it all back in. It's a pain in the butt, which you don't want to do. Just leave it there. If you're buying an aftermarket wheel, such as this one for instance is a 290mm steering wheel. I think the standard wheel that they give to you, this one, I think that's 280. This one's 290. This one is a little bit too small. This one's 250, I think this one is. It's almost too small because the paddles almost are as wide as they're almost as wide as the steering wheel. So make sure you get a steering wheel between 290 and 300mm, because if you go any bigger, if you go 230 or something, your steering wheel's going to be out here and you're not going to be able to reach your paddle shifters. They're going to be too far away. So stick to the guidelines of about 300, 310 probably maximum, I would say. Yeah, if you want to use your paddle shifters, a 290 to a 300 steering wheel, 70mm hexagonal bolt. That is where you'll be bolting your steering wheel in. That is the direction. You won't be bolting in it there, there or there. You need to do it bottom left, bottom right and the top. Now I've not got one at the top simply because the hole was too close to the top because it wouldn't fit. There wasn't enough frame there, so I couldn't fit a hole at the top. So I just drilled 2 at the bottom and just tightened it up enough. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put your sim racing hardware adapter onto your back plate of the base here. So you want to take the long bolts which you've taken off your steering wheel. Basically, remember what I said, put them in the bottom, top left and top right. That's where you want these bolts. Pop those. And see, that spring is underneath the thing now, so that's not going anywhere. You're not losing that. So we just tighten them up. And hopefully we'll cover up that stupid Ferrari sign. Right, here we go. So that's on there. Even your paddles are now not coming off. As before, when you take these off, your paddles are loose. Once you've tightened them up, the paddles are solid. Okay, so now we've got your adaptation on. You've got your wheel of choice, and it's been pre-drilled, and we're going to fix it to the base. This is the most simplest thing. All you've got to do is with your remaining holes here. So all you do, put your bolts in. There you have it. That's pretty much it. Okay, and you've got a wheel. Shifters work. Buttons. You can get to your buttons. I've obviously mapped out. I've stuck what the buttons do on the actual wheel because I had no space underneath because this frame is a bit higher. So I've put my mapping out, the lights, the pit button, DRS and ERS, the camera, the wipers. And as I say before, you don't need those bolts behind the shifters. They do nothing. Okay, that's effectively how you do it. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention was actually you've obviously realised that there's no D-pad now, so you don't need that. You don't need the D-pad, not for racing with project cars, and you won't need your D-pad. Okay, the D-pad will be a void for that. I use the keyboard, the Bluetooth keyboard there. But if you're going to be playing Formula 1 games, this is no good. This steering wheel setup's no good. You will have to go back to your shitty plastic wheel here because you will need your D-pad for the fuel mixtures and things like that. So if you like your Formula 1 games, don't go buy all the stuff I've literally just shown you because it's no good for you. But if you like your sim racing, you like your wheel to look a bit more realistic, then go for this option. Set yourself up a Bluetooth keyboard. I've mapped all my buttons out on that, and you can navigate your menu with the arrows, and you can also use your controller. Yeah, I hope that's helped. Anyway, I think it looks so much cooler when you've got your own setup. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck.